Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today for a community briefing. I'm Jennifer Bender, one of the public information officers for the Watertown Area Task Force. Before we begin, I want to go over just some activities that are available for kids this summer. I hope you all had a great Memorial Day weekend, and usually this weekend marks the start of summer for so many families. So here are just a few activities going on that can help occupy some kids and teens and families this summer that are all looking at CDC guidelines in response to COVID. So the Bramble Park Zoo is open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day. Currently, they are discussing summer plans like their programming plans, and that will be released later, so be sure to stay tuned for updates on their Facebook page. You can check out the Park and Rec's Facebook page for various different challenges and contests. I know they had an obstacle contest and challenge up just a few days ago. You can stay tuned for other updates in regards to their programming on their Facebook page. 4-H, through the SDSU Extension Services, is offering SD Summer Adventures, which is 11 weeks of programming that begins June 1st. You do not have to be in 4-H to participate. This is a program that is available starting June 1st, and you can check out their Facebook page for updates. Furthermore, they are still planning on their June 1st 4-H Youth Livestock Show. Lastly, Watertown Regional Library has virtual programming. You can check out their website, watlib.org, and also look at their Facebook page for updates and information. So we will provide all these different Facebook links on the 2020 COVID-19 page. Up first today, we have Mayor Karen.
Good afternoon. As of today, Tuesday, May 26, 2020, we have 4,653 positive cases in South Dakota. And that number is just growing. I think probably more important to note is the number of hospitalizations, because that number is going up too. As of today, we have 106 people in the hospital in our state, and we've had 50 deaths. In Cottington County, we now have 33 cases. 18 have recovered, which leaves 15 active Cottington County cases. This is compared to 5 last Thursday. So in just 5 days, the number of active cases in our county has tripled. In our region, which includes Clark County, Day County, Dual, Grant, Hamlin, Marshall, and Roberts counties, we now have 44 active cases. That compares to 27 last Thursday. So this uptick that we're having is a little bit concerning, and we're not sure if it will continue to go up or if this is our peak. We don't know. There's a lot we still don't know about this disease, and we're learning every day. And so keeping that in mind, I'd like to ask all people to be kind to one another as we work our way through all of this. We're all trying to figure it out. Tonight, the park board will meet at 5:30 to talk through the tough choices about fitting what we open this summer with our budget, which we expect to be declining, and also expected use, which we also expect will be declining. We don't know how many people will sign up for the programs and use them. We don't know what's going to happen to our numbers in Cottington County. So we're going without a lot of foundation upon which to stand. And so I'd urge your patience and understanding with the park board as they make these difficult choices. Our formula for success has not changed. It is still common sense and personal responsibility. As long as we're maintaining appropriate physical distance, having proper hygiene and good housekeeping, we'll come out of this just fine. And so now I would like to introduce Cindy Brugman, the Cottington County Auditor, and she'll be talking about our upcoming election.
Good afternoon, and thank you. The primary election in South Dakota is 1 week from today, June 2nd. All of the polling places in Cottington County will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. This includes the rural precincts and the outlying areas, including the large voting center at the Extension Building. Vote by mail is still an option at this point, but your time is rapidly running out to get a ballot mailed to you and then mailed back to the auditor's office in order to be counted on election day. In order for a ballot to be counted on election day, it has to be in the auditor's office before the close of the polls on Tuesday, June 2nd. If your envelope comes in the mail a day later and is postmarked June 1st or 2nd, it does not count. It has to physically be at the courthouse. It costs $1.20 to mail your ballot back. You can use the lock box at the south entrance of the courthouse to drop those in if that's available to you. In-person voting is available by appointment only. The courthouse doors are still locked to the public through June 1st. So if you would like to vote in person, you would have to call the auditor's office at 882-6297 and set up an appointment. We can only allow up to 2 people at a time in to vote in order to comply with the other number of people that are in the courthouse and the 6-foot social distancing. Masks are encouraged at the polling place. They're not required, but I would encourage you to wear them. I would encourage you to observe the 6-foot social distancing. We will have signage up with that message on there. We will also have a lot of signage up telling you which precinct is in which table. So for voters to avoid a backlog coming into the building, if you would check and see what your precinct is before you go to the polling place. You will not have to stand in line at the information table. You can proceed directly to your precinct table. There will be a number of precinct attendants on hand to help direct traffic. We would like voters to use entrance H for coming into the building. We would like you to exit through door I, which is at the south end, just to avoid crossing and getting too close to each other when you're coming and going. If you are wondering what your precinct is, you can find this by going to the Cottington County webpage. There is a link there for finding that information, as there is on the Secretary of State's website under the voter information portal. You can go to that portal, you'll put in your name, your birth date, it'll show you your sample ballot to let you know what you can expect when you go to the polls. It'll also show you your polling place and your precinct. Make sure you have your photo ID with you. If you don't have a photo ID, you do have to fill out extra paperwork in order to vote. So if you have your photo ID with you, it's going to cut down on the amount of time that you have to spend at the polling place. For this election, there are 2 ballots available. A Democratic ballot with a U.S. presidential race on it between Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. In South Dakota, the Democratic Party allows those registered as independent or those with no political affiliation to vote on the Democrat ballot. The Republican ballot has a number of races on it. U.S. Senate and U.S. House are voted on countywide. There's a Legislative District 5 race that'll be voted on only Republican voters in Legislative District 5. There are also 2 county commissioner races on the ballot, and that's only if you reside in the district where those commissioner races are. So you may see signs around town advertising these commissioner districts or these commissioner races, but you may not see that race on your ballot based on your voter registration party and address. In South Dakota, for a primary election, Republicans are required to vote on the Republican ballot. Democrats, the Democrat ballot, in addition to the no party affiliation and the independents who are allowed to vote on the Democrat ballot. So that is something out of our hands. If you're experiencing any symptoms or if you've been exposed to COVID-19, please do not come to the polling place. Hopefully you will have cast your ballot before then by mail, but we do not want to expose anyone at the polling place. This time we will be using disposable pens when you vote. So the pen you receive, you can either take it with you or you can throw it in the garbage on the way out. We are not going to reuse pens for this election. Please observe social distancing and please do not linger at the polling place. Lots of times people like to stand around and visit after they've cast their votes. In this case, we're asking you to cast your vote and then exit as soon as possible. If you have any other questions, you can call the auditor's office at 882-6297. We can tell you what your precinct is, and so you'll know that before you go to the polling place. And as of today, we have sent out 3,162 absentee ballots, and we received back 2,270 voted ballots. Thank you, and your next speaker is Lewis Canfield with the Boys and Girls Club.
All right, thank you, Cindy. All right, good afternoon. Just a few updates here for you on behalf of the Boys and Girls Club of Watertown. Again, I'm Lewis Canfield, Director of Operations. Just want to ensure the community that we're still continuing to serve youth and families during this time. And today we started our next step in changes here with our summer grab-and-go food program. This is a free meal service. It's open to all community youth if you're aged 1 to 18 years old. Again, it's open to the community, anybody who can get to our front doors, really outside communities as well. You do not need to be a club member to receive this meal service. We're going to serve meals every day from 11 a.m. until 1 o'clock p.m., Monday through Friday. It's in a grab-and-go method right at our front doors, so you just pull into the parking lots, and we'll have staff at the curb for you, and we'll serve you directly at your door. We'll be serving a lunch for the day, and then also a breakfast for the following day will be provided. If you want to know what the menu is, you can check out our Facebook page, Boys and Girls Club of Watertown, obviously. We're trying to make this very convenient for families. So parents, if you can come and pick it up. Children do not need to be in the vehicle. If you want to send older siblings to pick it up, we had children walking to pick up their meals today. Like I said, it's very convenient. We served over 250 meals today. We have the capacity to serve much more, and the wait times are very, very small. You know, we're getting families served within a minute, relatively quickly. We do ask that families pre-register, give us a little heads up as far as when you're coming, how many meals to prepare, and we appreciate the families that have done that so far. If you haven't taken advantage of it yet, please go onto our website and register. You do not need to be registered. You can just drive up as well and grab a meal. So again, that started just today. In regards to reopening the facility, the Boys and Girls Club main site will be open to a limited group on Monday, June 1st. This program is going to serve our youngest members first. We're going to have health screenings of the youth and staff that'll occur upon entry with additional temperature checks throughout the day. And then, of course, extra cleaning and disinfecting procedures will occur throughout the day as well. A waiting list for this group has already been established for those families who indicated an interest in this summer program. We ask you to stay tuned as we will continue to evaluate the current conditions, and we hope to open services for additional youth later in the summer. In regards to our fee-based services, the Summer KidScope program that's usually held at Roosevelt Elementary will not be operating this summer. We hope to continue hosting KidScope at the Lincoln and Jefferson Elementaries this fall. We'll post updates as soon as we know. The Aero Prep Preschool program, that will be operating and open to main club youth as well. That'll be June 1st as well. In addition to these programs, we want to remind everyone of our virtual programming at home for youth. We ask families to check that out on our Facebook page, Boys and Girls Club of Watertown at Home. Additional updates will be shared via Facebook, on the club website, and through miscellaneous media outlets as soon as more information is available. or always give us a call at the main site, 886-6666. While our service delivery model has changed, supporting families will obviously continue, and we appreciate the support we've received to continue these efforts. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mayor, Cindy, and Lewis, for your information there. I'm Steve Rehorst, one of the public information officers with the Watertown Area Task Force. I do have an update from the Watertown landfill here. They updated me that the citywide garbage cleanup, curbside cleanup is on now, and that is going to take place. It's going to happen next week. That'll be Monday, June 1st through Friday, June 5th. Now, you'll have to have your stuff out on the curb by Monday. So if you're like me, I've only done it once where I forgot to put my garbage out right away in the morning, and then they come by before I put it out. They don't come back and pick that up. That'll be a lot like this event here. Get your stuff out there either on Saturday or Sunday, this Saturday or Sunday, so that way it's ready to go right away Monday, because if they drive by and do your neighborhood and then you put it out, they're not going to come back to pick that up. So that's the curbside pickup. Get it out there right away this weekend, Saturday or Sunday, and they're going to start going around town picking up those items Monday, June 1st through Friday, June 5th. The things that they're going to collect, they want you to try and get those into 3 separate piles, and those piles are ones, they're just kind of larger items as only things they're going to accept. The first pile is recycling. That's for washers, dryers, stoves, ranges, dishwashers, water heaters, bikes, lawnmowers, tillers, snowblowers, microwaves, exercise equipment. Remember, if you do put out refrigerators, freezers, things of that nature, take the doors off of there and do not remove the Freon from those items. The landfill will go ahead and do that. Once they get the items to landfill, they'll take care of that for you, so do not remove those things. The second pile is it's called the garbage pile. It's for carpet, furniture, mattresses only. And then the last pile is for electronic waste, and that is for computer monitors, laptops, VCRs, if you still have some of those out there, scanners, keyboards, fax machines, things of that nature. Things they will not take, and these are things, a lot of items are what we'd take for collection at the hazardous household waste event, which has not been rescheduled yet. That's still tentatively waiting on some things to come through on that with a company that could come and pick up those items. So the items that are not accepted on this pickup are building materials, glass, remodeling, construction materials, concrete, motor oil, batteries, trees, liquids, petroleum products, tires, cardboard, styrofoam, clothing, shoes, books, magazines, yard waste, wood, branches, things like that. Basically, if it's something small enough that can fit in your blue regular garbage can, go ahead and put it in there. They don't want a bunch of small items just laying on the curb there to be blowing around and strewing about our streets and things like that. So if you want information on that, you can go to watertownsd.us, and you go on there, and that'll give that complete list of everything I just said, which I did not have time to memorize today because there's a lot of it. So go ahead, go on there and check that out and see what you can put out on the curb for the citywide cleanup, again, starting next week. The other thing is the yard waste site. I know I saw someone had a question on that last week. The yard waste site that's open on 4th Avenue, that is, when we do that out there, that is actually closed. So any yard waste you have to take to the landfill. And that landfill is open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. free dumping. If you're a City of Watertown resident, you have that utility bill with garbage pickup on there. And then the last thing I have is I know when we left on Thursday, I told everyone to be safe and be responsible over the Memorial Day weekend. The police department in Watertown here, we were pretty busy. We had a total of 392 calls for service over that 4-day-long weekend there. And out of that, we did not have any serious alcohol-related crashes there, so that's a great thing with the holiday weekends. Statistically, across the country, we always see an increase in serious alcohol-related car crashes. So we did not have any of those. Lucky for us here in Watertown, that was a good thing. Everyone's being responsible. We only had 3 DUIs over the weekend. So thank you to everyone for making the right choice here this weekend. With that, that's all I have. I'll turn it over to the media if there are any questions.
Question for Mayor Sarah Karen. Okay, Dan Christopher from the Public Opinion. I'll just start off by saying I've heard some things, you probably heard some things, but obviously we've had a number of cases in the last week or so here new cases. Is there anything you can definitively say as to what may be the reason?
No, I don't know the reason. I did hear that they were related to group activities, but it's pretty vague. I don't know.
Okay, that's it.
All right. Any other questions from other media? Not hearing any.
All right, thank you everyone for joining us. We'll be back on Thursday, 3:30 p.m., same place. Don't forget you can catch us on GovTV, the City of Watertown YouTube page, as well as the City of Watertown's Facebook page, and of course the COVID, Watertown COVID page. So catch us on there this Thursday, 3:30 p.m. Thanks.